The following program was paid for by Southern American Media. Fox 30 WGBC invites you to the talk of all the towns in East Mississippi and West Alabama. Welcome to Mornings with Scotty Ray and Candace.
And welcome, Monday morning, Scotty Ray and Candace.
Yes.
I couldn't help but notice over the weekend, I did not get an invitation to y'all's class reunion.
You did.
An honorary one.
Oh, well, you could have came, Scotty Ray. You could have came.
I probably wouldn't have known anybody in your class.
Mm-hmm. I don't know. You might have. You might have.
Kind of close to my age, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody looked the same?
I mean, pretty much. Yeah. Everybody, looked the same from the last reunion that we had 5 years ago.
Y'all didn't have, like, where you vote the most successful, who looks the same, none of that?
No, we don't ever do that. We should have done something like that.
Yeah,
I don't know. But.
You have to have the voting going on there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Of course, break out who was in the annual there.
Yeah.
Most
but
likely.
We had some pictures, sitting from like high school and then our first reunion, second, third, and then we'll have, pictures from this one. But
and you hate to say this, but as years go by, it becomes fewer and fewer and fewer folks that are still around.
Yeah, I was telling you a while ago that one of the wives of one of the guys that I graduated with, we were sitting there talking the other night, and she said, that first reunion, everybody's ramped up, and they're ready to dance, and it's like, The second reunion, you're like, oh, glad to see. I'm always glad to see everybody, but everybody's still mingling, and like the third one, you're like, man, it's getting to be bedtime.
Yeah, you don't exactly care to do that anymore.
Yeah, but I was so glad to see everybody. I really was. And I'm glad that the ones that came, and, it was good to see everybody.
Well, what anniversary was this?
This was our 30-year reunion.
30 years, so I got a couple on y'all. It is a job for anybody that's ever got in that position of trying to locate everyone to come to these things.
Yeah, it is hard to find everybody. So we just basically, I know there was a couple of people I told the other girls, I was like, I Googled them, I looked on this, and one of the girls said, look, you got to do all that. They don't want to be found. So, no, I am not doing all that. If you can't find them on Facebook or in the,
The yellow pages?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, there aren't the yellow pages.
Well, they are like online white pages. You can put a name in.
But that does happen there.
Yeah.
Well, it is Monday, and it is an extremely wet day. We're going to tell you all about what's going on with the weather today. Flash flooding is possible in our area. We could get 2 to 3 inches of rain, even more so on Wednesday. Now, the area, let me pull this up here. I want to say I've got this pretty handy where we can show you of what is expected with flash flooding. This is today. This is going to be southwest of us of where severe storms are supposed to happen. This area right here around Brookhaven, this is the only portion of Mississippi, that southwest corner, all the way to the Mississippi Gulf Coast, that could see some severe storms. Not to say that we're not going to get our own little thunder boomers after 11. Keep those headlights on because it is definitely wet out there.
Well, I called you the other night during the reunion because our power had, the babysitter was at the house, our power went out. So I called Scotty Ray to see if he knew what had happened, if he'd been in touch with EMEPA or,
Big, it was almost, not quite 4,000 people, but it was 3,800. It was, you could throw a stick at it, it was so close.
Like all of Collinsville, I think, in Bailey, some people, were out. Goodness. And then internet. So I felt for the babysitter because I was like, no internet, so he can't watch a tablet, he can't, play a game thing. So they were doing like board games or something, I think, which is good, but in the dark with a flashlight.
Ain't nothing quite like it. And it ended up being a tree that was downed in a remote area. As always, when you don't hear from the power company for about 30 minutes, they're searching. They don't know where the tree is. And that was the case. But, boy, they worked hard and got that back up. A big thank you to all those guys that did that.
Comcast was down, too. So we got ours back about 10 o'clock yesterday morning. So
I know I was on generator for 4 or 5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
As we look at the possibility of flash flooding, let's look at this to let you know what to expect today. Look at that. This is the Meridian area here, right up to Jackson, all the way back here. Now, this means we could see 2 to 4 inches of rain, and this is through Wednesday. And then the Jackson area, look at that. That's 3 to 6. So they've got a greater chance of all this stuff happening. And why is this happening? That little system that come out of the Gulf and came into Texas there at the Mexico has turned, bringing all this rain toward it. Have you seen Dallas this morning?
I have not.
Oh, my heavens. Let me see if I can pull this up. Dallas is underwater. I made a post about this earlier this morning. And let's see if we can find this on our Facebook page here just to show you how bad Dallas is, of what the look is. Let's pull this up. It's right down here. This is Dallas, Texas this morning.
Oh, my goodness.
As you'll see, look at that.
Look, you can't even hardly see the top of that one.
There were people getting rescued out of this. If you'll see, there's people coming up that they've gone and pulled out of cars. You'll see that.
Goodness.
It's devastation out there of this water. And Houston is just as bad when it rains there. And if you've ever been through there, if you'll look on the wall where water has risen before, you go, whoop, glad I don't live here. But that's the look at Dallas, and that's the rain that has kind of headed our direction. So keep it in mind as you're planning your day. And again, after 11 o'clock for us.
I was looking at an extended thing. It looks like we're going to get rain for a while.
Yeah, it's every day for the next 2 weeks. Ironically, did you look at the temperatures for today? 79 for a high.
Oh, this is going to be nice.
August.
I might have to just go sit out in the rain. Just enjoy a lower temperature.
Oh, yeah. This is the 22nd. Next week we'll be ending it into September. And I brought this up earlier. What is it that I'm not thinking of that you're not supposed to do after Labor Day? It's something to do with white. Is it shoes or is it just white in general?
Well, I think the white in general thing has pretty much been, hacked because I think people wear white in the winter now. But, yeah, my grandmother always said that the shoes, you can't wear white shoes after a certain point. So.
Yeah, okay, that's what it was. I think that was even in, what was it, Ode to Billy Joe. Somebody wore white. Why is that coming back to mind? Seems like it. Let's see here. Sean was out in Texas a few days ago, 3 days ago. Much of it there. As we start looking at a few things that went on over the weekend, gunshots, some people got numb to the mention of it. We did have a homeowner off of Poplar Springs Drive get fed of somebody trying to maybe get in their home, and a round or two may have been squeezed off as we look at the map here. This general area right up through here. Yeah. Guaranteed, that sends a message to burglars they won't be back there.
Well, yeah, I feel like a lot of people are in that same boat. They're sick of it.
Yeah.
So.
We also heard of gunshots being fired last night in the 300 block of Mill Street. Let's pull this up where you can see this. This is going to be Mill Street right here. This is Johnson Kia Meridian rather. Johnson Dodge sits here. Back in here, air gas is here. Gunshots rang out. Now, no damage, no one hurt, but still a gunshot or two got fired off there as we look at things. Let's see here. 40th Street, Friday night, shots would ring out here as we pull this up for you to look right along in here. And let's back out where you can actually see where this is and all what adjoins this. Here's North Hill Street, just due south of North Hills there. Here's 493, 40th Street, just due south of there. Directly behind Skate Odyssey is how you would get there if you were heading toward the interstate.
Goodness.
Pretty common thing there. And also, we had somebody tried to break into a house in that neighborhood over the weekend. Nothing gotten, but they thought they'd walk away with somebody something. That was halted. Frank Berry, gunshots rang out there over the weekend also. No one hurt, no damage done on that. Now, let's look at something that did happen here. This happened late last night. We're waiting for details from the Meridian Police Department. Probably not a lot of people are aware of this at this point. We've got it on Sam Media as we find out that gunshots rang out and a juvenile was taken to the hospital with a gunshot wound. The juvenile tells police that it was a self-inflicted wound. Now, we don't know the circumstances surrounding that or the location that it happened. Was he cleaning a gun? Was he holding a gun he shouldn't have? And I say he, I don't know that.
Right.
It's just a juvenile is all I know at this point. Or it could have been more. But at this point, the word is it was an investigation going on. We just know it was someone younger than the age of 18 that was hit.
I hope they're going to be okay.
Yeah, it's non-life-threatening. We know that portion. But always scary. Also had reports, as we posted this over the weekend, 34th Avenue, gunshots rang out there, and that would just be due west Right there is the cemetery. As you're headed toward Marion High School, just due west of there is where that happened. Seems to be a ongoing thing, doesn't it? Try to keep you up to date with all that the best we can. Where did you make it home okay Saturday night?
Yeah, I did.
Did you happen to?
We left around 11, a little after 11.
Did you travel 493 coming home?
Did we? Yeah, we did.
Okay, somebody did and took part of the bridge with them. It would be Sunday morning that people would go, hey, that wasn't damaged yesterday.
Wasn't us.
And no one reported this to my knowledge as we take a look at this. This is Highway 493. Bunton Gun Road is right before this. And you take a right to go toward Bailey, and that is what it looks like. They had it blocked up yesterday, I'm sure.
Okay, so that's the one right.
By Bunton Gun.
Okay.
You know where it is now?
Yeah, I do now. I was turned around. I was thinking.
This is headed north
like
on
if you
493.
if you pull out of Bunton Gun, it's right there on the right.
Correct.
Right, okay. Yeah.
But whoever hit that is not like a scratch.
No, that's a big hit.
I would almost think you would need a wrecker to come get you. Maybe they had their own.
Maybe so.
But that was the scene there as they've got that blocked off, and I'm sure the MDOT is out there this morning trying to work on that. They kind of bent it back and got it out of the way. Deadly weekend across Mississippi, and we're going to tell you about that. Even someone passed away in Lauderdale County on our highways. We'll talk about that next as we begin your day. Don't rush off. It's Monday.
It's here, the Fall Sweet Pea Swap, located at the old Jeffries building at Bonita Lakes. Drop-offs will be held September the 8th through the 10th. The public sale gets underway September 16th and 17th from 10 in the morning until 7 at night. Then again Sunday, September the 18th from 1 until 6 with 25% off. And our final day, Monday, September the 19th with 50% off from 10 until 7 p.m. Make sure to come by the most talked about event all year, the Fall Sweet Pea Swap at the old Jeffries building, Bonita Lakes.
One of the most important places to you is your home. That's why Patrick Allen Companies is proud to provide style, functionality, and security to your home. There's nothing quite like a well-designed overhead garage door or vinyl replacement windows, or the safety of a storm shelter to help your family feel protected. Patrick Allen offers doors and windows for commercial and industrial with dozens of innovative designs. Patrick Allen Companies, safety, service, and satisfaction.
Join Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesales every Tuesday night for a live auction, and you can bid from the comfort of your own home. Each week, Mike has a whole selection of auction items. Maybe you're a business that needs a liquidation sale. Or maybe you're in charge of an estate and don't know what to do with all you got. Talk to Mike Rice Auctions about an estate sale. Let Mike turn these items into cash for you. Your next deal is waiting for you at Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesale this Tuesday night, live on Facebook at 6:30. Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And I want to wish Shirley Sharp, hope she's feeling better. On our last broadcast, she told us that she was a little under the weather this morning. We hope that turns around for her and you feel better at some point. Good morning, Margie Lancaster. Good to see you.
Good morning, Levi Ware from Duck Hill.
Duck Hill, Mississippi. There you go.
Duck Hill. Yeah.
A lot of folks watching there. Gail Williams watching from East Lansing, Michigan.
All right.
Can't say I've ever been there, Gail. Be careful while you're there. Enjoy yourself.
Jackie Thompson's watching from Union.
A little bit closer.
Good morning.
And as I said, it was a deadly weekend across the state of Mississippi. We had 2 deaths in Warren County, head-on collision. Ended up both drivers died. Yazoo, we had a man that ran off the road, flipped. He died in that. That makes 3. Meridian, right around Marion, Mississippi on Friday night, we would find out that a motorcycle was traveling. And this is the story as you look at this morning. As we pull this up, we go back to Sam Media. A Harley Davidson, a man and his wife were traveling northbound on the bypass. They pass the exit from Marion and get around the curve. And right before it goes back into 45, a deer stepped out in front of them.
Oh, goodness.
He was thrown one way. She was thrown the other. He lost his life. 45-year-old man from Mobile, Alabama. We pass along condolences to Jason Gunn.
That is so awful. You know, on a motorcycle.
Yes.
I've often wondered, or I've thought about that, about a deer or an animal.
A dog can run in front of you.
Anything.
This and you know how it is in a car. of hitting a deer, just how quick it can happen. And imagine a motorcycle. So we're getting into that season, and I harp on this because we are moving into the fall part of the year to where deer are on the more active.
Yeah.
Y'all keep this in mind.
Yeah.
I don't have an answer, just telling you that's what happens. That's a sad one there.
That is.
And we think about, it's not rarely addressed, but the folks that have to go help in these, you don't just walk away from that and forget it.
That's right.
It stays with you. I was looking here at the notes. It was a little over 3,800 folks there without that power there.
Goodness.
Wow.
Thank you, EMEPA, for getting that taken care of
Yeah.
in a hurry.
We got a stolen car. It's got a paper tag on it. It's most likely torn off by now. This was taken this weekend as we pull this up. This would come from St. Francisville Apartments there. It's an '08 Caddy that's tan in color. It's a CTS. Taken, if you happen to know where it is, 485-1893. I've got the owner's number as well. They'd really like to have their car back. Had not had time to get a tag, had a paper tag, and gone. Somebody else liked it just as much as they did.
Yeah. Or more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess.
We had a rollover accident, Spring Hill Loop Road over the weekend. A one-vehicle accident. As we pull this up, we reported this. As you can see there in the distance there's the car upside down. I think everybody ended up being okay, but still a scary situation.
That is scary.
Have you ever been in a car that rolled over?
No, I have not.
Me either, knock on wood.
No. Yeah, knock on wood for sure. I have not. But my daughter was in an accident, like a year or so ago when she tipped hers over on the side.
Oh, yeah, that was out.
Yeah. It had been raining, and she said she wasn't going very fast around the curve, but, I don't know.
Blink of an eye
Right.
during rainy weather can happen to you. And that's, I put on here earlier about turning your headlights on. Keep them on. Most cars turn on by themselves, but the older one, you have to.
Yeah. It really doesn't take much, too, for, like, if you put the brakes on going around a curve for your car to kind of fishtail.
Yeah.
Because that's happened to me. It's scary. Scary, scary. Somebody complimented my hair. Thank you.
Well,
Brenda.
thank you too, Brenda.
Thank you.
Look, I've got the ant pox.
Oh, really? Oh, gosh.
It's awful. I don't think can I
bit
give
by
it?
ants?
Can I give it to you?
I hope not.
Those critters, my arm is, I got like 5 or 6 of them on me. I couldn't get them off quick
They're
enough.
awful. Ants are awful right now. It's like you can mow the grass, and the next morning there's a big mound.
Yeah. You can put the poison, they just move 3 feet. What is the answer? We don't know. I don't know if you ever get rid of these critters.
I wish it was something you could just pour down in the bed and kill them all. You know?
Send it off with the kudzu. They go back on the same boat they came from.
Have you ever watched, I know we got to get to the news, but have you ever watched somebody, I watched this cast with aluminum?
Yes.
An ant bed. That is the neatest thing. No,
Have you tried
They're
it?
not living through that.
Have you tried
I
it?
haven't, but I told Kurt we needed to. I was watching that Saturday morning. I got up before everybody else, drinking my coffee and watching them cast ant beds and yellow jacket nests.
I ain't fooling no yellow jacket.
They put like something on the ground and burn it.
Yeah.
And then they melt aluminum and pour it down in these holes, and then they dig around it, and it's really neat.
You better go there after dark is all I can say on them critters.
Yeah. Pour some gas down in the hole.
Instant, as what Eddie Seipel was saying. Sneak up on them.
Well, if you put I think I've seen people take like a 2-liter bottle and shove it down in there, and just leave, because it plugs the hole up.
I hadn't seen that. I know that old gas trick there that Eddie's talking about does work there.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Good morning from the DHS ladies in Clark County. Hope y'all are doing well.
Good morning. Yeah.
Sean agrees. Don't like no yellow jackets.
Yeah.
The Lauderdale County Sheriff's Department, I spoke with Ward. They've been kind of busy as they made an arrest as we pull this up. This is also, as we look at arrest warrants, a 16-year-old has been charged as an adult. Why? At least 9 car burglaries have been connected, 1 car theft, and it looks like more charges are pending on this. And also, there may be charges that are coming from the Meridian Police Department as well. You can't accuse this is all accusations until you make it to a court.
Right.
You're presumed innocent until proven guilty. But he was arrested not far from where the gunshots happened on 36th Street. We will follow this story. I think there's going to be more coming out from 36th Street eventually. I keep hearing charges have been made, and I've asked the Meridian Police Department several times. And officially, I don't have anything in writing yet from that shooting that happened last week. We'll see what happens this week.
Okay.
But I think it will, as we talked about it on Friday, it will make people go, oof.
But 16 years old.
Bad.
You know?
And there's other things that go on in this city that are younger than that would shake you to the bone.
Well, we've had people tell us that they start as early as the age of 10, 12 years old.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to get people to join.
And if you watch the police reports, there was, and there's just no other way to do this, there was a 13-year-old that is being charged as an adult in Marion for rape. If you look at this, that's what happened. Is that not sad?
It is sad. Very sad.
I've looked at this over and over and over, and there's just, that's bad news.
It is. It's bad.
He is in the Lauderdale County Jail at this point. We'll keep you on top of that as charges progress. Eric Clark says, I don't care what you say, it's illegal. We ain't letting it happen in Neshoba County. He shut them down. They came in, took care of business. As we pull this up and we go over to take a look at what's going on there, one in custody, two wanted in connection with a indoor marijuana operation.
So they're not canning.
No. That
or
is.
Have they been canning?
That's not preserves.
I didn't know you could can marijuana.
Well, apparently you can. I don't know enough about it. Let's take a closer look at this. Let's put this bigger. Look at all this. Now, they got guns, ammo, cash.
Goodness gracious.
That's a lot of marijuana.
That is.
Mary Jane, as some folks call
Somebody
it.
been busy growing.
Really, I don't know.
Gardening.
Yeah, that's what to put it. That's illegal. And
it is.
they made a big old bust. It was just east of Philadelphia, headed toward Kemper County, in that direction off of Highway 16 due south of there is where all that happened. I want to say I got a general picture of the direction. I do. Ooh, look here what we found. Here's where it all went down. Here's city limits of Philadelphia. You go out past Bobby's Country Store, hang yourself a right if you're going toward Kemper County, and here I am.
Okay.
Just come on into work.
That's where the gardening date was.
That's where it was.
Okay. Farmers markets.
Yeah, they've took care of that, broke it up there. They've got the arrest warrants for the other two folks involved in this. We also, Saturday, as we were talking about the rain, just west of the casinos, we had a wreck there on Highway 16. This was at County Road 147.
Yeah.
As you come across that, there's the fire trucks and all sitting there, and boom, a fender bender. That's how quick things can happen.
Yeah, it is very quick that things happen when, the roads are slick, for sure.
Left-handed cigarettes. I hadn't heard it called that in forever, Shaw, but you're right. That is another name for it. And what is that? The 420, April 20th. Forever, I didn't know what that meant, but that's like
I didn't either,
Mary Jane Day.
Yeah, I didn't realize it, but everybody was posting it, online and stuff.
When you don't know, you don't know. And that was one of those that I did not.
A lot of Mary Jane lovers out there. I just did not know.
It is. Newton, Mississippi, and they tell me there's a video. I did not get that, but somebody decided, just like we had the incident in the bank at Trustmark Bank in Meridian, to drive on up in the subway. They were ready for a big takeout, and here we go. That's one of the pictures, and I think I got one more shot of that. As you look at that, there's the hole right up in the subway. I think I can make that just a tad bigger there.
Did they just miss the drive-through?
It ended up being an elderly person getting the brake and the gas confused.
That's bad. That's happened a lot lately, it seems like.
Yeah, I think that's what happened at the bank.
Medical conditions or either,
Whew.
Goodness. I hope they're okay, though.
Rachel Tillman says this is her first time watching. Welcome. Well, I hope you'll stay with us. We do this Monday through Friday. I even do it on weekends.
Yeah.
But we're on television Monday through Friday. Hope you'll come back and visit with us online.
Yeah.
All the time.
Well, of course, you can comment. But for the people who are just watching from TV, you can go to Facebook or YouTube and you can comment. Interact with us.
Let's look at something else. This is just tragic. No names have been released on this yet. Marion County, which you would go to Hattiesburg and go just a little west of there is where this happened, a boat ramp incident where a truck rolled off in the river. They have found a body. As we look at this, this is the search and rescue, and it was a lot of rescue people that were involved in this as you look at these pictures. The truck rolled off the boat ramp.
So was he trying to get a boat or put a boat in, or
It didn't. It did not say in the description. The investigation is going. As you'll look at this, there's the truck. It doesn't have a boat on it. I assume that's it there that come off of it, and his body was found.
Yeah, because
A few hours later, up against the bank, they're floating.
goodness.
Just a bad situation. No matter where that is, whether it's Mississippi or somewhere else, it's just tragedy, and that did happen there. The Tri-County Community Volunteer Fire Department responded to that, and maybe brings a little closure to someone.
That's sad.
Yeah, it is. As we look at this little 16-year-old girl that they've been trying to find in California for the last few weeks, they did find her in the river inside the car, is what they're assuming. They've got to do an autopsy to identify, but every indication is that it is her. Now, that does not explain the jacket and the dog.
Inside a car?
Her car.
Oh, her car.
That does not explain her jacket being found in a hole with a deceased dog last week.
Right.
Something is not adding up. Now,
That's awful.
let's talk just a little bit about this. It's been kind of quiet on the old home front in the state of Mississippi as we look to Jackson, Mississippi, where millions of dollars came up missing that was set aside for the poor. Now, in this headline, this is Mississippi Today. The only news agency that I know that is really, it's kind of like a dog that's got that bone, and they're not letting go of it. And the headline on this reads is, leaders for years in Mississippi have been obsessed with the poor. Maybe they're abusing the system, applying for more than they should. And I do think that should be done. But what happens when it's the leaders of the state abusing the money? Shouldn't they be investigated?
Yeah.
And that's what this article...
Anybody that abuses it should be investigated. I mean, I think.
Yeah. Now, I'm going to read you, and this is, again, from Mississippi Today. If you want to read more about it, go there. But this is just 2 paragraphs out of this. It says, around the time that legislatures and others were concerned about fraud related to poor Mississippians who were receiving government assistance, $1.3 million in welfare funds were diverted to then Lieutenant Governor Tate Reeves' fitness trainer, Paul Lacoste, who used $300,000 of the funds to pay himself a salary, another $70,000 to purchase a new truck, according to the state auditor. It reads on, additionally, $5 million would be spent to build a volleyball court at the University of Southern Mississippi. An additional $1 million would go to pay an NFL and USM standout quarterback Brett Favre for speaking at engagements that he did not make. Other welfare funds went to invest in drug research on the behalf of Favre, with the blessings of former Governor Phil Bryant. The list goes on, and as much as $92 million in welfare funds could have been misspent, according to the 2020 audit.
That's a mess right there.
And
this is welfare. I mean,
for people that need it.
right. They're building volleyball things and paying NFL players and
Now, Brett did return
personal trainers and buying trucks for people. Yeah, that's
Brett returned the millions of dollars. He did not, if I remember right, and y'all correct me, don't quote me on it, but it seems like Chad had charged him a fee for the investigation, and he didn't pay that.
Wasn't it like maybe 300? It was some amount of thousands of dollars
for the
that he
research.
didn't- Yeah,
But
that he didn't.
this goes back to the governor's mansion. The fraud of those two people that have already gone to jail over this drug-related thing, to where the money was being funneled. Something needs to be looked into. We're not accusing Brett Favre of anything. I don't want y'all to think that. He's just quoted a lot in these articles, and he has returned the $1 million fee that he didn't do.
Right.
He has done that.
But it just makes you, I mean, when the governors are involved and lieutenant governors.
And the person investigated gets fired.
Right.
This is deep. This is deep. And again, there's more to follow on this. And if you want to follow it, the news agency to read up on is Mississippi Today. They do an article on it nearly daily to keep Mississippians straight.
Yeah.
It's something else, is all I got to say. And it should, no matter who whether it's a white-collar crime, is just as bad as a blue-collar crime. Those in charge of funds need to be held.
That kind of gives a whole new meaning to, like, when they say the rich keep getting richer and the poor keep getting poorer.
Yeah, there's a reason for that.
Yeah.
And if this goes all the way to the governor's mansion, it needs to be investigated, whether it's the past or current. Needs to be looked at. Why would you get rid of that guy? I don't care if the contract was kind of convenient, is what we'll say.
I think it would be I don't know. I mean, maybe they could look into state stuff, local stuff. I mean, anything.
Oh, there's more of it.
Surprised he.
Shad White don't stop.
No.
And he's turned it over. He's taken it as far as he can and turned it over to authorities. We'll see what.
Now, if something happens with his job, we know there's some stuff going down.
We'll see. Scotty Ray and Candace, it is Monday morning. Welcome. We're glad to have you a part of what we do every day. We got more on the way. Glad to have you a part of it. The Piggly Wiggly of Collinsville is passing along these great savings this week. Mississippi sweet potatoes, 49 cents a pound. Fresh peaches, $2.49 a pound. Vidalia onions, a 3-pound bag, $2.99. Green, red, or black grapes, $2.99 a pound. Fresh leg quarters, a 10-pound bag, $7.99. And certified Angus beef T-bone steaks, family pack, only $11.99 a pound.
And we're down home, down the street, Piggly Wiggly.
The Square Peg Mini Mall, located across from the Neshoba County Co-op in Philadelphia, Mississippi, is a family-owned business that promises to treat you like family. The Square Peg Mini Mall has been operating for over 10 years and boasts over 30 vendors with a rotating inventory to fit that something you're looking for. Inventory is constantly updating, so there's always a chance for a surprise when you step inside. Come visit the Square Peg Mini Mall, located on 335 West Main Street in Philadelphia, Mississippi.
And welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. And a lot of people are bringing up the PPE money. There were businesses that needed that money, but there was also a lot of dishonest Americans.
Yeah.
We see $6 million were taken here and there. And
Well, when people applied for that, and if I'm not mistaken, and they got that money, it was to pay their employees, to keep paying their employees. And I know my daughter was working for a business up in Starkville that around that same time, right when all that stuff was going on, I mean, they told them to go home and draw unemployment. And then they'd probably bring them back around a certain date. Well, then they shut it down, went home. So I feel sure they probably collected the money, shut it down.
some did.
Moved on.
There was others that made up fraudulent payroll records, got money, and went and bought fancy cars.
Yeah.
That's just bad. But there was so much free money and no one at the gate checking. It was just here.
Oh,
You
yeah.
take that. And again, I think those people need to be held accountable too. If it was used in the right way, it was great. It kept America rolling during a time that we've never seen before.
Right.
But there
my
was
daughter, she lost her job up there, but they never called them back. So
not good, not good.
not good.
Happy birthday goes out to Otis Gilbert, celebrating a 72nd birthday today. Hope it's a good one for you.
Yes, happy birthday.
All right, let's look back in time, look over a few things that happened on this date. 1939, I'd almost forgotten about this young lady, and she had a big TV show, and I want to say she's passed away in the last few years with cancer. Anybody remember her? Rhoda.
Valerie Harper. Yeah.
Didn't that start out on the Mary Tyler Moore and then get her own show?
I want to say maybe she did. I don't know.
Oh, wait a minute. Let's
It's
pull
around
that
the
back
same
up.
time,
Let's
for
pull
sure.
this back up. Folks, this was the first time I think I saw a hippie as a kid.
Oh, really?
I considered that the hippie look. Am I wrong?
I guess it would kind of be hippie-ish looking,
Yeah, them bent.
like
that.
bohemian looking maybe or something.
Did
What you call it?
nobody over at the Methodist Church in Scuba, Mississippi look like that? I'm just going to tell you. Nobody.
But you know, that kind of stuff's coming back. You
Hippies?
See well, this little hair, whatever you call it, sash, do-rag looking.
Yeah,
little
well, why don't
things.
you dress that way tomorrow?
You want me to?
Yeah, come on in.
Tie one of those things
Wednesday
around my
can be
head.
leather day.
No, the same
That's
leather.
a lot of people like that.
I wear some leather shoes. But
1947, you would grow to love these two, and we would know that behind the scenes they didn't get along too well. Who are we talking about? Cindy Williams was born on this day. She was Shirley.
Did you watch that?
Yeah, oh yeah, you couldn't help but watch
I know,
Lenny
I
and
watched
Squeaky.
it. Oh yeah, I had to watch it all the time.
It
It kind of drove me insane though. She had an
Oh.
L on everything she wore. Laverne.
Well, you had to mark your clothes even though it was 5 times bigger than the other girl. How could it get confused?
I mean, on everything. Like she had an L.
Yep.
That was her trademark, I guess.
Yeah, it was. It was good there. And a lot of women found Squiggy irresistible. Well, there's a lot of women liked him, thought he was it on a stick.
Goodness. He reminded me of a little mouse or something.
1956 on this date, they broke out the camera, they got out some lights, and they began filming on what I consider really the only film that he was ever in that was really true acting. We go back for The filming began on Love Me Tender as Elvis broke it out. And that really was a pretty good movie as far as acting. And he seriously wanted to do serious acting, and the Colonel would never let him. Always had to, we're going to win this race. Throw that in. Do a song, Elvis. You can actually do a movie without putting the music in it, the soundtrack to it. They didn't know that then. 1957, although the song that you know her from never hit number 1, I think it made it to number 3. She had a couple of other songs that made it to number 1, but Holly Dunn was born on this date. Daddy's Hands are the song that you probably really remember.
Yes, that was a really good song.
Are You Gonna Love Me was number 1, as you'll read there on the screen, but who remembers that? No one. She passed away back in 16 also.
Did she?
She did. Holly Dunn. I think it was also cancer that took her from us. Holly Dunn. That was a big one. 1960, he was, a lot of people love this guy. He was not one of those that I would go buy the CD. He just wasn't, it wasn't my kind of music. A lot of people related to it too. But Colin Ray was born on this date. Little Red Rodeo, one of his bigger ones, and what was that song where they hid out by the tree and met and they'd run away together? I can't remember the name of it, but
I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
And that's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Oh yeah, I didn't like that one.
I didn't either, but it was a hit. It just didn't. I don't know. It's kind of like listening to, what's that guy with the swirly stuff on his britches now, Luke Bryan. I just can't do it. And I tried Friday, y'all. I promise you, I turned it on and I listened, and I don't believe the man.
What?
Any of his music, I listen to it and I go, he ain't lived that. And that's how I judge music.
Look, have you ever seen his mama?
No.
You've got to pull it up.
She look like him?
No, she is a tough cookie now. She don't put up with nothing. I mean, you need to pull her up. They played a prank on him, or on her one time. They acted like somebody had come up. They were all out there on a golf course or something. And they acted like a fan come up obsessed with Luke Bryan and tried to like attack him or something. I don't know what it was. And she come over there and was going to like beat this person down. I mean, she was mad. She was cussing. She was mad.
Mamas that don't know when to quit.
Yeah. She's funny. So.
But the song I heard was something about being a farmer and a truck driver. And I'm thinking, Luke, I just don't feel it. I just don't feel it. So I had to change the channel there. 1970, this would be on the cover of TV Guide. Anybody remember Gunsmoke?
Yeah. Let me tell you, did you know that Festus played several different characters on the early Gunsmokes?
Yeah.
And that he was a country music singer.
Oh, yeah. Drifting Tumbling Weeds.
He is the brother to Tony Curtis. Did you know that?
Yep.
Jamie Lee Curtis's uncle.
He's a great singer. But you would have never known that with that drawl that he had and the tobacco chinned.
Yeah, I was looking all this stuff up. And also his father was an actual sheriff.
Really?
Yeah. What was the town of this? It was called their
Dodge City.
Dodge City. His father was an actual sheriff about 190 miles away from the actual Dodge City.
Look at Candace doing some research.
I did. I was looking all this stuff up the other night. He sings really, really good, or he sang really, really good. It's neat, though.
Oh, let's see. Sean says he's got to depart us there. He's got a load headed to Toledo, Ohio. Be careful there, my friend.
Yes, be careful.
1986, and this was a great movie. We've lost a few of the actors that were in it, but in 1986, this hit theaters. Stand By Me. The little boys walking down the railroad tracks. Did you ever see it?
I did, and I remember when River Phoenix passed away, I was like devastated. That was awful.
Keith Sutherland was in it. A lot of them that have gone on to be major actors since then. 1996, the biggest influence in this lady's life would pass away. And when we say do, I think you know who we mean. Dew passed away in 96. Of course, he was Loretta's manager. He married her at the age of 13 or 14, took her away and gave her a guitar. Found out she could sing. By the age of 15, I think she had 3 or 4 kids. Despite all of that, she became a country music legend.
Yes.
She's a talent.
I like Loretta Lynn. You can't beat that.
He was almost 70 and passed away. 1998, the number 1 song in America. What was it? Well, in country music, that is, I'm All Right. Joe DiMessina had the number 1 song. That seems like almost a lifetime ago now. 1998. We were getting ready for Y2K. It was being talked about then to sell you products to protect yourself. It seemed like the whole world was going to shut down.
Yeah.
Yeah, it didn't. Anytime that any of these folks tell you that the world is going to end on such and such day, no one knows that. There's only one person in this entire universe that knows that, and he ain't telling until he shows up. So
Right.
y'all don't believe everything that they put out there, the propaganda that is put, and it's a bunch of it.
It is.
I mentioned this morning before we go to commercials here. This is the life of, I guess you could say, of how things can go bad. Back 14 months ago, a guy was shot in Birmingham. His girlfriend was killed. He was wounded. Over the weekend, he was murdered.
Oh, Lord.
It just
awful.
came right back there. It's so many. Birmingham's rough. Almost.
Everywhere. I think everywhere is getting rough.
Lack of leadership causes all of this.
That's what I was saying the other day. I mean, to me, you're not safe anywhere when the leadership's not, doing what they need to do.
Correct. We're going to talk about Arkansas in a minute. And I don't know if y'all have seen this yet, but it is the talk of the town across America right now. Some police officers that are in some hot water. We'll show you a little clip of the video of what's going on in Arkansas this morning. Right now, we turn our attention to our friends over at Godwin Cleaning Services. What are they doing? Well, they got a power washer somewhere working on this right now, taking care of things, making things look beautified is a word I don't use often, but they do that.
Right.
Buildings, houses, look at this. Just gorgeous there. And your place can be done this way. They can set it up to where it's done by twice a year, once a year. Maybe you need it more than that.
Right, and it makes it look brand new.
Parking lots, you know how your church parking lots, or you've got a convenience store that's got motor oil, they can get rid of all that. Roofs, look at this. Makes it daylight and dark difference.
It does.
Or maybe it's daylight and night. What's the old term? What am I trying to say
Night
there?
and day.
Night and day.
It's like night and day.
As you can see right there, that's a huge difference in a driveway. They do this every day, including brick, sidewalks. They even do this for your decks out back and your steps. Make it non-slippery when that old rainy days like today happen. Maybe it's a scoreboard or a billboard. Doesn't matter. Godwin Cleaning Services. They know what they do, and they do it right and affordably. Call them today. Get set up on a schedule. 253-8262. That's the number to call. They'll certainly help you out there. Join Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesales every Tuesday night for a live auction, and you can bid from the comfort of your own home. Each week, Mike has a whole selection of auction items. Maybe you're a business that needs a liquidation sale. Or maybe you're in charge of an estate and don't know what to do with all you got. Talk to Mike Rice Auctions about an estate sale. Let Mike turn these items into cash for you. Your next deal is waiting for you at Mike Rice Auctions and Wholesale this Tuesday night, live on Facebook at 6:30. Spring is here, and it's time to quit spending all of your weekend cutting grass when you could step up to a Skag zero-turn mower. Freeman Tractor in Collinsville has the #1 rated zero-turn mower, Skag, with cutting widths from 36 inches to 72 inches. Skag, the #1 choice of professional landscapers because they know nothing outcuts or outlasts a Skag. 0% financing for 48 months with payments starting as low as $129 a month. Stop by Freeman Tractor on Highway 494 and see coleslaw or buttermilk. If you're getting ready to purchase land, make sure you have it surveyed. Contact our friends at the Woodlands Group. Maybe you're selling land, dividing land up. Whatever the case is, the Woodlands Group can help you there. They handle residential and commercial clients. And again, they specialize in property line location, site plans, and a whole lot more. Maybe you have a construction project, and they have the latest equipment to make sure it's done right, including drones. Call Justin Palmer or Brandon Briggs at the Woodlands Group, Surveying Solutions. Welcome back with Scotty Ray and Candace. Monday morning, already, 17 minutes before the top of the hour. You want to talk about something flying.
It's flown by. I swear, it seems like you just hit the button to go on.
This is truly the fastest hour in television you'll find in the Meridian area. It just goes whoop. I mentioned Arkansas. Police were called to a gas station. They had a guy that was unruly, causing fights, arguments. They show up, and he shoves a police officer.
Right.
That's when it goes south.
Wrong thing.
And this is where video emerges from Arkansas as we see this now, as they're on top of him, and they're not stopping. And it ain't good. There's an investigation ongoing as usual. When things like this happen, they stop and suspend everybody until the investigation is cleared up as to what has happened, what prompted them to do that.
Yeah, I think that's a little bit. I mean, he shouldn't have shoved
It appears.
the police officer. He shouldn't have been like,
But as we found, that one would be hard. That would be hard. We'll just wait and see what comes of this.
Mm-hmm.
We hope no extra force was used in that.
that's a loop. Like that's a video, like it's on a loop. So it.
Yeah, it just is going back and forth on that. Nearly 75% of Americans think that the country is headed in the wrong direction. Yeah, that's no shocker, is it?
How many miles down the road did that start? Yeah.
And Joe is just, and NBC done the poll. This is not some, what you would say, some agency, this right wing, and no, it's not anybody. It's NBC. They're saying, not in favor of old Joe there. As we mentioned, the young girl being found. We got some other things that are happening. This is, and I've brought this up a lot, as we see the streets of America being overtaken by homeless, where they camp out in front of your business. Right. Who wants to come to your business when there's 15 people that are homeless sitting on the sidewalk in front of your business? They don't feel safe.
Yeah.
Firefighters in Seattle, I believe this is where this is. Seattle firefighters have been attacked no less than 40 times responding to fires to where the homeless attack them. They say they've got to have police protection or they cannot do their job.
Yeah, I don't blame them.
This is such a bigger problem than America wants to admit. The lack of police force is causing this. We know this. We had a big old brawl breakout at a NFL game there, the Jaguars. They had a big old fight up in the stands.
Not a good thing. Goodness, somebody just got slammed with something in their head.
And it makes you
That's not
think,
good.
does this progress more when alcohol is sold at
I definitely think that adds, that can add to it.
It makes tempers a little bit shorter.
Right. Well, I mean, people get
10 foot tall and bulletproof.
Right, they do. They get unruly and mouthy and sloppy and, all of that makes a chaotic mess.
Mean as a woman that's been cooking all day and you tell her the cornbread wasn't good.
Yeah. Yeah.
Doesn't work out
just
for
eat
you.
it and go just lie and say it's the best cornbread you ever
Oh,
had.
you better.
Yeah.
Some more Americans have arrived in Taiwan. Let's make things a little bit worse down there, as China has got 40 planes in the area. As Americans go there just to go, we can do this. We'll find out more about that. Lindsey Graham, as we talked about last week, was subject to have to go before Georgia, the election probe. A judge has halted that temporarily. We'll see what happens on that. He may not have to. But for the time being, it's been halted. He's not going to have to testify. And all this goes back to the January 6th thing of the Election Commission and all of that. We'll see what happens there. So how often do you wash clothes?
I wash at least
towels.
3 loads a day.
Let's talk about your
Towels.
towels. How often do you use them? One time? Do you use them multiple times?
I use them one time. A lot of people use it, hang it up, use it again, but I don't do that. There's nothing wrong with that. I just don't.
On average, they're saying if you've got towels, don't use it over twice, then wash them. What about your shirts? How often do you wash your shirt? Every time you wear it, or wear it multiple times?
I do. If it's something that I put on and just wear around the house for about an hour or so, 2 hours or whatever, I take it off.
So wearing a shirt 19 times before you wash it?
No, I don't. Yeah, I don't do
They
that.
say, scientists say 4 is the amount of times you should not go past washing it. Now, I also got, what you got, your dirty shirt pile, as you just mentioned, that you go out and do your yard work in.
Yeah, or if I go to work and when I'm doing hair, I'm not wearing that again. I go home and wash my stuff.
But you'd be shocked as to how many people argue over that. As to how
lots
often.
of people do. Now, when we go camping or something, I might hang the towel up just because we don't have a washer and dryer in our camper, so I take enough towels for every day. But
time to add on.
Yeah.
Just put your little dishing on the back and get it in there.
We have a spot for it. It's got a hookup, but we don't have one. They're expensive.
Yeah, they are.
A washer for the camper is like $700, or a dryer.
Go for it, girl.
Yeah, no way.
Let's cut back on some chicken.
I said,
takeout.
get me a dryer. I can hand wash stuff. But anyway.
Did you see this in New York City where the guy walked out of the restaurant and the guy puts on the gloves and walks up behind him and hits him and put the gentleman into a coma? And then
I did see something the other day about
and
that.
the DA let the guy out. Well, the governor of New York has ordered that he be rearrested.
Yeah, he should. That's crazy. Why would you let somebody out that does something like
It was
that?
brain bleed, everything else. And they did say, I read an article this morning where the guy is doing better.
Well, thank goodness.
It's a miracle in itself.
What kind of glove did he put on?
Just
to hit?
work gloves and just just meanness.
Okay, yeah,
this guy's been in and out of jail all of his life.
Yeah, I saw that where he had many arrests.
But how, I truly don't understand how somebody that is there to enforce the law can allow these things with no conscience that someone innocent minding their own business is hurt and then they turn them back out on the street to do more. That's
what's wrong with this world.
I agree with that.
The people that need to be arrested are still walking the streets. And
Hey, as I mentioned Biden a moment ago, where 75% of Americans don't want him back.
Right.
And normally, college kids are the ones that don't know a whole lot about the world yet. They hadn't gone out and worked. 73% of them are going, we don't want Joe back.
I don't know that 73% ever wanted him in the first place, but we won't go there.
Yeah. That's headlines with all of that this morning there. As they get into all of this raid, and there's going to be more, they're ordered to release some of this of the actual court order supposed to hit the shelves. Upon this, and I never would have guessed it, Trump left a gracious note to Biden on the desk of the Oval Office. It was very nice. Left him a note there as he exited the White House without doing the traditional ride off in the helicopter thing. Didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. I'm surprised we found that out.
A little bit of information is coming out.
Yeah.
If it hadn't been for the raid and things of that nature, I'm not sure that we would have ever known that.
They were talking about they were going to release the redacted version though of that thing.
It'll be some things blacked out.
They said, we might figure out, we might know the page number. That's what they were joking about this morning. We'll probably know the page number and the date,
That could happen.
Yeah, everything else will be like
blacked out. But if you'll remember on Trump, when they were doing all that in the beginning, it was a lot of things that were released that was not redacted. Anybody that was worked for him, they got their name thrown out there and financially ruined. And Melania, is that how you say it? Melania?
Melania, I think. Yeah,
boy.
Melania.
Yeah, I'm working on being able to say that in the next. She says she's ready to go back in the White House.
I'm surprised. That surprises me because I thought she was kind of fed up with it.
Well, I think that's because
they gave her complete
They
grief. The woman is the classiest woman I've ever seen. The prettiest besides Jackie
Kennedy.
Yeah.
But she never.
Jacqueline,
she was never ugly to anybody, no matter what they said about her.
Yeah.
And that takes a strong woman to bite her tongue.
They just run her in the ground
for
no reason. But let Jill Biden step out, and she's.
Mike Pence is further hinting that he might want to run. Mike, rethink that.
Yeah.
You and your family might vote. Outside of that, it won't be many. We'll watch that. We got more headlines coming up in a moment of what's shaping the nation this Monday morning as you begin it. Again, we mentioned that we've got rain in the area. We want you to be safe. And, whatever you need. Maybe you need a rain jacket. And our friends down at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply, they've got those. Drop in today. Get you one. You'll keep dry there. They got all types of things to take care of you there as we go there, including the up-and-coming deer season right around the corner where game cameras are arriving daily. You can be all fixed up with tents. If you hadn't got a feeder yet, maybe yours have died. They got plenty of those to choose from there. As we go about, maybe you need lawn furniture. Maybe you need a rug for that back porch. Comfy.
Like an outdoor living space. Yeah.
Sit out there. And even that little pig there, they got plenty of those to choose
Yard
from.
ornaments. Yeah, all kind of stuff.
And of course, we've got plants and flowers, anything that you might be wanting. And fall is coming as they've got the shop open there with all of this here, the decor.
You can get your ribbon, wreaths, anything decorating for fall.
And our mainstays, anything that you might need to do work, they've got that for you, including all these work boots and things to make life comfortable, including things for your pets. Well, corn, cattle, horse feed, all of that for you there. With guns and ammo. You'll find it all at the Lauderdale County Farm Supply. Great folks. Visit with them today. Folks, if your yard is needing grass and you need it quick, talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding. They offer residential and commercial. The great thing about this, it doesn't wash, the water treads, and it holds the soil in place. It's the easiest way to grow grass. That's hydro seeding. You'll get a great looking lawn without all the dry spots. How many times have you put out seed and it gets washed away, blown away, or even the birds eat it? Talk to our friends at Coates Hydro Seeding, 601-728-1954.
H&H Residential of Meridian is your #1 carpet and flooring store. If you've been thinking of a new look for your home or office, call for a free estimate or consultation. H&H can install or you can do it yourself. H&H has all of your design needs from color, style, and texture. If you can dream it, H&H can make it a reality. Come see the large selection of hardwood flooring, laminate, vinyl, and even carpet. H&H Residential of Meridian, open Monday through Friday, 9 to 4, 321 Hawkins Crossing Road. Call Rosemary anytime, 601-462-9541.
Rockhouse Gun and Pawn is open Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. until 6 p.m. Lots of different calibers and brands to choose from when it comes to hunting rifles. Whether you're looking for a new pump shotgun or an AR, the Rockhouse will have the gun that you need, with a huge selection of ammunition for just about any caliber that you may be looking for. Pistols, scopes, and a whole lot more. Plus a private lobby for your confidentiality when it comes to your pawns. Rockhouse Gun and Pawn, located at 5430 Highway 19 North Meridian. And welcome back. Already 8:54 this morning as we go back. And I'm not picking on Seattle. It's just they just provide us with a lot of material.
Yeah. Bad material.
Horrible this. A
Bad news material.
66-year-old man was beaten to death with a metal pole in Seattle by a criminal that was freed 8 days before. It's just repeat. They turn them out. They go do more. When will you have to face for what you do?
After asking the killer not to repeat any more crimes.
That's what the judge said. Don't do it again. I'm going to turn you free. What's he do? We saw in New York City where the cab driver was beat to death also. Did y'all keep up with that? He was 52 years old. And these were juveniles, some of them girls.
15 years old.
One's been arrested. She becomes the third to be arrested in this. Teens. Man just trying to make a living. What happened was they didn't pay for the fare, and he followed them, chased them. They attacked him. The cost of raising a child in America has gone up, and they have to include some of this to inflation. It's gone up $26,000 in a 2-year period. $310,000 is what they say on average it costs to raise a child from birth to the age of 17.
I believe it.
$310,000. That's not including college. That's just Toys R Us and a few toys along the way and some birthday cakes.
Food. I mean, just clothing and food
Yeah.
to me is outrageous.
That's part of it. But if you're planning your future, that's what it's going to take.
Yeah.
This is becoming more and more across America to where they come into businesses in groups and rob things. And this is just one of these little time-lapse videos. Look at this, y'all.
Mob robbery. Yeah.
This is a 7-Eleven. That's how many people went in and took what they wanted. Now, there is absolutely no way one person working at a business can handle it.
They've got the plexiglass thing just like ripping
They tore it down.
off.
Where does this stop? We got to have more money put into police departments for the safety of our Americans.
Yeah.
That's what I see happening here. We look around. Let's see here. Did you see where they found something that outdates Stonehenge?
No.
Water went down. I'll show you a hint of this. This is in Spain is where this is. Daily Mail is showing the picture here. Look at that.
It's amazing that stayed like that.
Underwater all these years. 2,000 years older is what they're
Now,
saying.
what is that? Is that tombstone? What is that?
I don't
Is
even
that
understand what Stonehenge is
I don't
other
either.
than a bunch of rocks piled up together.
Yeah.
And of course,
Have
the
to look up the
man-made one
history.
in Georgia got blown up. So that's what we got there.
Goodness.
Thank y'all so much.
The Scotty Ray Report is brought to you by our following partners.